Alright guys, just got done watching the first episode of You Are My Spring on Netflix, and I have to say, I thought the first episode was okay. The biggest highlights in this episode was the beginning and towards the end. Everything in the middle, I thought, it was a little draggy, but it is the first episode and all, and they were just giving the introduction of our characters. So the first 17 minutes of this episode was just an introduction of our female main lead, Dajong, and basically showing her life as a kid. She lived a poor life. Her mother was abused. The father was, well, not good. And then eventually they left town and moved to Seoul. And now she's an adult and she's living a good life. We see that some of the characters do have a big history with one another, and I'm pretty interested in seeing how their history plays a part in this story. We already know the big history between Chejun and Yongdo, and it's basically the first story that plays a part in the plot, so I'm really looking forward to it. We do see that we have a love triangle here, so we know that Chejun has a crush on Dajong. Yongdo right now, he doesn't have a crush on her, but I guess as the drama goes on, he will eventually. But as of right now, towards the end, remember he said, don't see her again? That's what Yongdo told the Chejun, but then Chejun, obviously, he's not gonna listen to him and he's gonna see her again. So it's more of not in love with her, but more of her safety. And also with Chejun, I guess we have our first villain. Just seeing how he was as a kid, we know what he did, and just seeing his, I guess, documents. When we saw Chejun go into Yongdo's office, we see that he's antisocial. He has an antisocial personality disorder, mask of insanity. So yeah, we have a first villain. Alright, next I'm gonna talk about the characters. These are basically information that we already know just by reading online. So Dajong, she works as a hotel concierge manager. Yongdo, he's a psychiatrist. Chejun, he's a CEO of an investment company. And Gayong, she's an actress. And that's pretty much it. So at the beginning of the episode, which was really interesting, this was before we went back to 1994, we see a guy. We don't know who he is. We hear Dajong narrating, saying, when I ran over, he wasn't there. He was nowhere. And then we get a shot of the abandoned building, which is used in a lot of dramas, especially Vincenzo. We see a car. Then we see a body falling on top of a car. I suppose he's dead. Then we get a shot of a black cat. Now, the black cat has been mentioned a lot. I don't know the meaning as of right now, but as I watch the drama, I'm gonna know. But as of right now, I really don't know the meaning of the black cat. And then, right after the scene of some guy landing on top of a car, we hear Dajong saying he was never there to begin with, which was really interesting. I don't know how or when that's going to play a part. Then the drama takes us to 1994. They're showing us how Dajong lived as a kid. She was poor. Well, she lived in a poor family. Her mother was abused. You can see in that one scene where her mother went to the grocery store and you saw her bruises and she was trying to hide it with her hoodie. And her father was such an a-hole, pretty much, very abusive. And then one night the mother went to her kids saying, hey, pack up your stuff, let's go. And they left. And then now we're in 2020, Dajong is an adult. She works as a hotel concierge manager. This is also when she met Yongdo. I have a feeling that Yongdo is that little boy in her 1994 flashback story. I have a feeling that's him. So it seems that Dajong and Chejun, they know each other only because Chejun is chasing after her. He does have a crush on her. What surprised me is that Yongdo and Gayong know each other. I have a feeling it's nothing romance related, but more of a, well, since her character is an actress, she was being used by her ex-boyfriend and manager, and she has trouble loving someone. I think she goes to see him because she has that type of problem. So it looks like we do have a love triangle. As of right now, Yongdo, he doesn't have feelings for her. It's mostly because of her safety, but a love triangle is safe to say, especially in that one scene where Chejun was talking to Dajong in front of the store, and then Yongdo intervened and said, oh, I thought you guys were done talking. And then that led to him showing her his bathroom. He said there was something wrong with it, which was pretty hilarious. I'm like, dude, just turn off the water. But anyway, when Chejun went to Yongdo's office, I had a feeling something was up. So he came in, he was basically warning him, but then he threatened him to stay away from Dajong. Then we see on paper Chejun's mental personality. He has a antisocial personality disorder, mask of insanity. So just by reading what's on his documents alone, you can already tell he is the first character you gotta be suspicious about, and most likely our first villain. Now let's get to the ending of the episode. This is where things do get interesting. Now it's nighttime. Yongdo is at his office. He gets up, look at his floor. I'm thinking, what the heck is he looking at? Now this takes us back to before his office was even an office. It was still being constructed. There was a dead body there. Then he says, the culprit always returns to the crime scene. And he looks at a reflection of himself on the window. And I'm thinking, wait, did you, the dead body? Did you? But then it took us to a little bit of a flashback of a younger version of Yongdo looking at another kid who happens to be the younger version of Chejun. Not only that, that younger version of Chejun had blood on him. So I think it's pretty obvious putting 2 and 2 together. A dead body, blood on Chejun, our first villain, pretty much. Then after that, both Chejun and Yongdo met each other outside, and Yongdo says, I don't want you to see her again. But obviously, Chejun, he's not going to listen. So this is where things do get interesting. Not only a love triangle, but more of a sadistic one. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the episode and my review. If there's anything I might have missed, please leave it in the comments below. So this was a good introduction. I wouldn't say it's the best first episode, but it was a good one, a good intro. Just like I said, the beginning of the episode and the ending were, in my opinion, the best part. I do hope that right after the whole introduction thing, things starts to pick up and we get more suspense, more thriller, more psychological events happening. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys like this video, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.